everyone, it's me Jessica, and I'm here today to guide you through an amazing mind-body practice. We're going to go ahead and get right into it on our mats today. So have a couple sips of water, set your space up for yourself, make it smell nice, put on some comfortable loose clothing, make the lighting relaxing for yourself. Give your bird some peanuts. If you have the opportunity to put on some nice quiet music, I'm always into the ambient relaxation playlist on Spotify. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's a really great way to just relax your mind a little bit more during practice. All right, and when you're ready, go ahead, come up down to your mat. We'll start in savasana today. As you get down here, take some time, readjust your body, make yourself comfortable. Start to notice how you're feeling. Recognize if you need a little bit more support for that lower back. If you're having trouble getting it relaxed on the floor, you can always go ahead and bend your knees. Even tenting your knees towards each other. Either having one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, your arms relaxed close by your side. Once you've found some relaxation of grounding your body in with the mat, start to bring your attention to your breath. Work to slow your breath down as much as possible. Beginning the breath with a nice slow inhale in through your nose. Take a moment at the top with your lungs full before you exhale all of that stale air out, enjoying a moment with your lungs empty. You might find as your breath goes on here that you can readjust your body to get a little bit more contact with your total spine flat on the floor. Go ahead, go for it. Come back to your breath after you make those adjustments. We'll spend one more minute right here. As we come to the end of this minute, hopefully you've been able to expand your breath to already find a little bit more relaxation both in your mind and of your body into your mat. Take your time, draw your knees towards your chest. Gently rock side to side. Maybe make some circles with those knees, just giving yourself a little massage on your lower back. Keep the back of your head flat on the mat. If you're going for some circles, change the direction of those circles. And then let's go ahead and keep our right leg pulled in and extend our left leg out. Just taking a moment in wind removing. Flex your left toes back towards your face and pull your right knee away from your rib cage and then back up towards your shoulder. Relax that left shoulder down towards the mat, even stretching your elbows towards your hips. Your fingers are engaged all the way up to your knuckles. But there's no tenting of your knuckles. They're flat as possible on your shin. Use that breath to pull your knee a little closer towards your chest. Stretch your elbows towards your hips. Keep that belly pulled in tight and lower back glued down towards the mat. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly, gently release. Bring your heels to touch. Realign your spine for just a moment. Then flex those right toes back up towards the ceiling. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace all 10 fingers all the way up to the webbing. Pull that knee out away from your rib cage and then back up towards your shoulder. Use your exhale, relax. As you roll a little bit more towards that right shoulder. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Get the back of your head flat on the mat. Stretch your elbows down towards your hips. Pull your belly in, lower back, press down and towards the floor. Take one more deep inhale. And then exhale, relax and release that left leg down with the right. Once again, bring your heels to touch. And then draw both of your legs up. You can bring them up one at a time. Feet relaxed side by side. See if you can bring your inner thighs to each other. Ooh. Stretch your elbows down towards your hips. Just gluing each vertebrae down to the mat. Tuck your chin slightly towards your chest, a slight choking of the throat sensation to get a little bit more of the back of your neck flat on the mat. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Take one more slow, deep inhale. And on your exhale, gently release. Bring the soles of your feet back down towards the floor. We're going to need to use some space above our head. So if you're like me, up towards the top of the mat, you can wiggle yourself a little lower. I'm going to lift myself up. Grab a quick sip of water down here. All right. And then once again, reconnect my feet with the ground. About hips width distance. Bring those heels in nice and close. And see if you can even reach for your heels with those fingertips. Oh my gosh, am I getting a cold? All right. Relax those shoulders. Gently find a little opening of your chest, pressing the back of your arms into the floor. We're just going to go for some nice, slow glute bridges right here. So use that inhale to gently peel yourself up, still finding the support of your hands, palms, of the back of your arms on the floor. And then your exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly bring yourself down. Let's do two more, working with your breath. Inhale, curl and peel up. Still grounding those feet into the floor. Don't let those knees open or close, staying in line with your hips. Exhale, bring it down. One more, inhale, gently peel up. Exhale, slowly come down, and when you get here, You can go ahead and windshield wipe those knees right and left. Ooh, just finding what feels good for your body today. All right, once again, ground those feet down with the floor. This time we're going to involve our upper body a little bit with our breath. So still keeping those heels close towards your glutes. Pulling that belly in. We're going to move one vertebrae at a time. We're going to bring our arms up with us. So inhaling up. Reach all the way overhead, exhaling down. About a 4-second count here. Nice and slow. Inhale up. 2, 3, 4. Exhale down. 2, 3, 4. Inhale up. 2, 3, 4. Exhale down. 2, 3. Let's just do one more. Inhale up. 2, 3, 4. Exhale down. Very nice. From here, go ahead. Let's do a couple snow angels. So with the backs of your fingers dragging along the floor, inhale your arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, bring them all the way back down towards your hips. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more full range of motion. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to inhale and keep our arms up overhead for this last one. And now just reach through those fingers, pulling that belly in a little bit tighter, pressing that lower back through the floor. Think about stretching through one fingertip a little bit deeper. And then the other. Oh, just finding what feels right for your body while I take a moment to just tuck my shirt in gently. So good. Awesome. So with those arms still up overhead, we're going to once again come into some glute bridges, this time moving our hands opposite of our feet. So ground those feet into the floor, draw your lower belly towards your back, and then get ready to use your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Really press those hips to the ceiling. Exhale down. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Starting to warm up a little bit more. Really think about pressing through your heels, stretching those hips as high towards the ceiling as you can, maybe coming a little bit more onto your shoulders. No pressure on your neck. Last one. Slowly, gently draw those hands back down towards your hips. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Once again, gently rock side to side. Maybe make some circles with your knees. You can either rock yourself up like a ball, roll over towards your side. Let's go ahead and come on up to a seated position. And then turn right over into tabletop, or maybe grab a quick little sip of water on the way. Okay, hands, palms right underneath of your chest. Spread those fingers nice and wide like starfish. Hips stacked right on top of those heels. Go ahead, give yourself a couple shimmies or shakes. Ooh. Couple of traditional cat-cows, whatever feels good for you. You know your body best, so just do what feels best for your body today. All right, walk yourself closer towards the top of your mat so you have some space to use the mat behind you. Keep your left leg grounded with the floor and really work to keep your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders. Don't worry, we'll come off of them between some postures just to give them some rest. Push into those hands, palms, and extend that right leg behind you. Go ahead, rock gently back and forth. Just getting a nice little wake up in that calf. Starting to really engage your glute as well. Awesome. Come into that stillness. So stacking your right heel on top of the ball of the foot, making sure that you're still active in your upper body. So pressing into your hands, palms, pulling that belly in nice and tight, engaging your entire right leg. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead, draw that knee in towards your nose. Inhale, extend your right leg out. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, inhale, extend it out. This time, go ahead, bend that knee. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Find some balance on your right hand. Reach your left hand back. Grab hold of your foot if you can, wherever you can. Grabbing hold to find a nice little opening of that shoulder, of the left shoulder. As you kick that toe up towards the ceiling, take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, gently release. Left hand comes back down towards the mat. Release your right knee back down towards the floor. Take a couple moments, shake those hips out, send your hips back towards your heels. Come into a nice little child's pose. Walk your hands forward. If this is too much on your shoulders, remember you can always find a generous bend of your elbows, or even relaxing them even more by walking your hands back to your heels. Great. Let's take another big stretch of our lower back. So coming through, we're going to pull ourselves forward. Maybe walk our knees back if we're short on space. Coming into a nice big seal, or maybe keeping your forearms down on the ground for a little mini cobra. And then we're going to press it right back into tabletop once more. Feel free to shake it out. Find what feels right for your body today. And then once you get your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders. Oh yeah. Let's actually take a moment and come onto our knees. So coming off of our wrists, go ahead, make some circles with those wrists. Open and close fists a couple times. Really squeeze those hands, palms together. Maybe give yourself a couple rolls of your shoulders. While we're here, with our hips sitting on top of our heels. Think about having those toes pointing directly behind you. Maybe your toes come together and your feet turn out slightly, creating a little bowl for your bum with the arch of your feet. Yeah, the soles and arches of your feet. Just make sure that that inner arch isn't coming down towards the floor. And you can, while you're getting these nice wrist stretches, give yourself a couple ankle stretches as well. Just lifting one knee at a time off of the floor, pressing the top of your foot down into the floor. Getting some big cracks in my wrists today. All right, let's go ahead, bring those hands, palms back down. Once again, right underneath of shoulders. Make sure you're really pressing into your hands, palms. No wearing shoulders as earrings. And then go ahead and extend your left leg back. Take a moment when you first extend it back just to gently rock back and forth if that feels good. Re-engage that upper body. Pull your belly in nice and tight. Make sure you're not overarching that back and sagging that belly down towards the floor. So really pull that lower belly and squeeze your glute and find your stillness. Stacking your heel on top of your ball of the foot and finding an imaginary stretch towards the back. So really engaging your glute, maybe feeling your quad engage, bringing some pressure back through grounding that upper body, hands, palms to the floor. Take a deep inhale, lift that foot up, and exhale. Draw your knee in towards your nose. Really pull it in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, not using momentum, but using your abs to draw it in as much as possible. One more time, inhale out. Exhale in. And then extend it out. Go ahead, bend that knee. Point the left toe up towards the ceiling. Push into your right hand palm. Keep that upper body engaged as you reach your left hand palm on the floor. Right hand palm reaches back behind you, finding a little opening of the hips, stretching through your knee towards the back of the room, and then stretching through your toe up towards the ceiling. Pressing into that left hand palm on the floor and into your right hand palm to lift that foot up. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, slowly, gently release. Bring your hand back down towards the floor. Bring your foot to meet it. Open those knees. Bring your big toes together. And once again, send your hips back towards your heels. Enjoy another child's pose. Let's get a little bit of a shoulder opening here on this child's pose. So go ahead, keep your left hand palm on the floor. You can gently lift your chest, applying some pressure into the left hand palm as you weave your right arm underneath. You can either bring your forehead to the floor or bring your temple to the floor, whatever feels good for you. Take one more big breath right here, and then press into your extended hand palm to lift yourself up. Ground that arm on the floor and switch. Keep working to use your exhale, bringing those hips back towards your heels. Great. Both hands come forward. Go ahead once again, pull yourself forward, extending those legs out behind you. Tuck those toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling. You can walk your hands back or walk your feet a little closer, and we'll take a moment here in down dog. Just pedal through those heels. Keep working to bring your belly a little closer towards your thighs, and remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. You can keep a bend in your knees. Take your time. Let's go ahead and walk forward towards the tops of our mats. Once again, big generous bending your knees. Slowly, gently roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Inhale those arms up overhead. Hands, palms together. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Just take a moment. Let's take a couple breaths right here in mountain pose. So finding one spot to focus your eyes, relaxing your breath, grounding your feet into the floor. Notice if you're coming towards the outer edges of your feet, if you're pronating or over pronating those feet. Pulling that belly in nice and tight. All right, let's work again to find some movement. So inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Pulling your bellies in. Exhale, swan dive or fold forward down towards the floor. Inhale, come up into a half lift. You can always bring your hands to your legs if you need to. Pulling those shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, releasing back down towards the floor. Find some movement once again right here. Remember, you can take that generous bend of your knees. And then let's slowly, gently, once again, roll ourselves back up. Inhaling, arms up overhead. And exhaling, hands down to heart center. Once again, taking a moment right here in our stillness. Glutes are engaged, hips are gently pressed forward, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Inhale those arms up overhead, pull your belly in. Exhale, swan dive or forward fold. Inhale, find that length of your spine coming into a half lift. Exhale, back down into forward fold. Inhale, send that right leg back and come on up with a bent left knee into crescent warrior. So the back heel doesn't need to be down on the floor. You've got about a 45-degree angle for that foot. All we're doing is coming up and then exhaling back down towards the floor. Inhale, step those feet together, coming into a half lift. Exhale, back down into your forward fold. And then slowly, gently rise yourself all the way up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold or swan dive down to the floor with belly tight. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale into your forward fold. This time, left leg goes back behind you. As you inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Hips are still squared toward the front of the mat. Exhale yourself right back down. Inhale, step your feet together. Come into that half lift. Nice flat back as you can. Exhale down into your forward fold and slowly, gently roll yourself up. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Let's add on just a little bit more. Beautiful, we're doing great. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, rain those fingers down or swan dive forward. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale back down to your forward fold, sending that right leg back behind you. Inhale up into your crescent warrior. On your exhale, your right hand comes back towards the back of the mat. Turn those toes out. Look over your left hand fingertips, warrior two. Turn your hand palm over, inhale into peaceful. Exhale back into warrior two. Inhale into warrior one, so turning that back heel. Exhale, rain those fingers down towards the floor. Inhale, step your feet together, come into your half lift. Exhale, back down to your forward fold. Inhale, slowly, gently roll yourself up. Bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Other side, inhale, arms up, belly tight. Exhale, forward fold or swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale into that half lift. Flat back, shoulders away from ears. Exhale down to that forward fold. Remember, you can keep that bend in your knee. Inhale, send your left leg back. Bring those arms up overhead, coming into crescent warrior. Make sure there's a bend in that right knee. Open yourself up. Come into warrior two. Look over your front fingertips. Turn your hands palms over. Come on into your peaceful. Exhale back out into warrior two. Use your next inhale to swing that arm down and forward. Turn on your back foot, coming back into crescent warrior. Exhale those hands back down towards the floor. Inhale, step your feet together. Find that flat back half lift. Exhale down to your forward fold. Inhale, slowly, gently roll yourself up. Bring those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands back down to heart center. One more time on each side, same thing. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, come on down to the floor. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale back down to your forward fold. Begin your breath, send that right leg back. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, open up to the side, turn your foot, come into warrior two. Make sure there's a bend on that front knee, turn your hands palms over. Inhale into peaceful, trace that back thigh with your fingers. Look up and back. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, arms come down and forward. Warrior one. Oof. Keep that bend in that knee. Exhale, fingers come down towards the floor. Chin comes closer towards the chest. Inhale, step your feet together. Find that half lift. Exhale, back down to that forward fold. Big stretch on the back of the legs. Slowly roll yourself up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands, palms back down to heart center. Last time, last side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Belly tight, rain yourself down to the floor. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale into that forward fold. Use your breath, step that left foot back. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, turn your ankle, open yourself up, keep that bend in your left knee, right knee. Inhale to flip that hand palm over, come into your peaceful. Exhale back into warrior two. Inhale, turn back to the front of the mat. Back into warrior one. Exhale, rain those fingers down towards the floor. Inhale as you step your feet together, find your half lift. Exhale, back down to your forward fold. Slowly, gently rise up one vertebrae at a time. Arms come up overhead. Hands come down to heart center. Beautiful work. Take a couple moments here in your stillness. You can relax your arms down by your side, opening up that chest, squeezing shoulder blades together, being right here in mountain pose. Keep enjoying those slow, deep breaths that we just practiced. Take 2 more right here. On your next inhale, bring those arms up overhead, pull your belly in nice and tight, and exhale, rain yourself down to the floor. Let's go ahead, bring ourselves back down into tabletop. Go ahead, cross those feet over each other, sit yourself back. We'll find ourselves in Sukhasana. And then we'll kick our legs forward and come all the way into staff pose. So go ahead and walk those hips back. Find a little bit of length, stacking your shoulders on top of your hips, pulling that belly in nice and tight. Just find a little hip opening here with some half lotus. So go ahead, take your right leg and bring the sole of the right foot as high up towards your hip bone as you can. And maybe you have trouble bringing that sole all the way up towards your hip bone. You can always readjust how your sit bones are underneath of you. Maybe just find a little cross of the leg. You can use the back of your forearm if it feels comfortable. I'm finding a bit of a stretch within my quad here as well. No pain in the knee though. If you feel any discomfort in your knee, I want you to open the stretch up a little bit more. So don't bring the sole of your foot as close towards the opposite side of your body. Just work into your breath right here. Keep it nice and slow and relaxed. Remember, the goal here is always to make sure that breath comes first. Pranayama is number 1. Asana is number 2. So finding the posture that you can with your breath. Go ahead, take 2 more big ones right here. And use that exhale to gently change. You can use your hands for support as you extend that right leg back out. Maybe even bring your hands behind you. Take a moment. Shake it out. Make it feel good. Let's go ahead and get the other side. Flex your right toes back towards your face. Once again, find that nice lift and length. Lift and length. Number 2, right after that breath. It's going to help you come into those postures. Remember, each side of your body is different. So I noticed it was really easy for me to get that first leg close to the center line of my body, but trying to bring that second leg as close is bringing some pressure, and I feel it building towards my knee. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be a lot more open with this side, maybe even just keeping my foot on the floor. Well, maybe a little. No. Nope. So you just have to respect whatever it is that your body brings to practice. Maybe later today, this same exact posture will seem like a breeze. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll feel even tighter. There's no need to push it. You can always come back later. If not later, you can come back tomorrow. Can you equally press both glutes down through the floor right now? Last 3 breaths right here, wherever you are. All All right, let's take our time slowly, gently, lay down on our backs. Coming towards that savasana time. Let's take a moment first and enjoy a little reclined bound angle. So bringing the soles of your feet together and allowing those knees to fall out heavy towards the side. As you first come into reclined bound angle, ask yourself, are you really comfortable? Think about readjusting your shoulders underneath of you, maybe even pressing into the outer edges of the feet to readjust your glutes. Working to find that big stretch in your hip flexors. And some comfort in your back. If your back is not feeling very comfortable, think about bringing your toes closer towards the bottom of your mat. Did a lot of stretches in the legs today. A lot of stretches in the legs, a little focus on the shoulders, just thinking towards those places that we might store some tension. Just trying to use today's practice to help you find your inner happiness. You're welcome to stay here in reclined bound angle for your savasana. However, if you would like to go for a more traditional savasana, you can go ahead and kick those legs out. You can open your legs or open your arms as much as you want, but the closer you keep everything to the center line of your body, the easier it is for your freshly oxygenated blood to circulate. So, deep thoughts. Do a nice scan of your body from head to toe. Ask yourself, how do you feel? Do you feel any different than when class started? Are there still any points of your body that you recognize that you could send some mindfulness and breath to just create a little bit more space and relaxation? Think about continuing to use your to use your breath to relax your mind and your body even as you come off of your mat today. You're welcome to stay here in Savasana for as long as continues to honor you. If you'd like to close class up together, take your time, move with intention, and come to a seated position. As you get here, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest, with your thumbs touching on the sternum, and just notice yourself. Feel free to tuck your chin to your chest as you honor yourself and close out your practice. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we did today, I encourage you to reach out till I see you again, or I guess rather till you see me again. Continue to think good thoughts and eat good foods, speak good words, and do good deeds to nourish yourself from the inside out. If you have any aches or pains, please let me know. I'd love to create a class to truly honor you. Go ahead, bring your thumb up to your third eye. Lift your beautiful faces up to the sky. Take a moment, open up your hearts, and know that the light within me sees and honors the light within you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.